What happens when two of the most indestructible beasts in the universe go toe-to-toe? Which one of these colossal titans will be left standing when the dust settles? And what would such a battle even look like? Let's find out. It's time for another epic showdown. This time it's the one that many fans have been asking for. Godzilla vs Doomsday. Who do you think will win this battle? Let us know in the comments below. For more kaiju action, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode of Titan Talk. Doomsday is an ancient Kryptonian who was once named General Drew. He served as a general in the Kryptonian military until he was framed for the supposed murder of a Kryptonian senator. After he was found not guilty, he became obsessed with ridding Krypton of all forms of corruption. But his methods were extreme and violent, which made him unpopular among the Kryptonian populace. His popularity grew, though, after he staged a coup, overthrew the Kryptonian government, and executed several corrupt officials. It wasn't long before he took the title of the last son of Krypton for himself. Only a small group of Kryptonians survived his purge, including Jor-Il, Lara Lorban, Alura, Non, Ursa, Nam, and Litter. As the years passed, Doomsday grew bored with ruling Krypton. All of its inhabitants had become too weak and pathetic for him, so he set his sights on new conquests. But Krypton was on the verge of destruction due to its dying sun. So before leaving, Doomsday placed the surviving Kryptonians into a stasis field to preserve them until the planet could be saved. Then he rocketed off into deep space, where he would travel for centuries. During Doomsday's travels, he came across several civilizations that he conquered, only to grow bored with them as well. The Kryptonian ghostwriter Allura followed Doomsday during his travels, chronicling his destructive path. She called him Doomsday because wherever he went, doom followed. Allura eventually fell in love with Doomsday, but he cared little for her or any other Kryptonian, no matter how beautiful they were. Allura eventually broke free of the stasis field and pursued her one true love, Doomsday, through the cosmos. Doomsday didn't want her though, and promptly banished her back to the Phantom Zone. This turned out to be a big mistake. While she was gone, Krypton was saved from destruction by the Legion of Super. Allura returned to Krypton and convinced the others to leave the stasis field and come with her to stop Doomsday. Although Doomsday defeated the Kryptonians easily, Allura used her powers to magically bind him. Just as Allura thought she had finally stopped Doomsday, he broke free of her bonds and ripped her head off, killing her. Enraged, the other Kryptonian survivors attacked him, but once again, Doomsday proved to be too powerful and he slaughtered every last one of them except Jor-El, Lara Lorvan and their infant son, Kali. Doomsday had grown bored of Krypton once again, though, so he let Jor-El and company live. Jor-El was able to use his science to rocket baby Kal-El away from Krypton before it exploded. Kal-El would eventually grow up on the Earth and become the world's first superhero, Superman, and Superman's greatest enemy was now stalking the Earth as well. If Doomsday was truly unstoppable, why did he allow Superman to survive when he killed all of the other Kryptonian survivors? It is likely that Doomsday didn't know that Superman's cells possessed a much higher resistance to magic than most humans. Since Superman was just a baby at the time, he also wouldn't have posed a threat to Doomsday, so he probably just saw him as a low-life form that wasn't worth destroying. However, when Superman grew up, he would become the Kryptonians' greatest enemy and the two would battle countless times. Doomsday has proven to be a worthy opponent for Superman and has even killed him on several occasions. However, Superman always returns from the dead, which is why he's known as the Man of Tomorrow. Now let's talk about Godzilla. Godzilla needs no introduction. This gigantic lizard monster has been terrorizing Japan since 1954. He has caused billions of dollars in damages and thousands upon thousands of deaths. Over the decades, Godzilla's rampage has spread beyond Japan, causing destruction across the globe. But despite his seemingly endless destructive path, Godzilla has also become a sort of Japanese cultural icon. Godzilla is actually an abbreviation of the Japanese phrase Gojira, which means force of atomic breath. In fact, Godzilla's original incarnation was actually much more terrifying than the family-friendly monster we know today. The original Godzilla was a metaphor for the destructive power of nuclear weapons, which Japan knows all too well. Fortunately, Godzilla has become much more light-hearted over the years. Now he usually appears whenever humanity least expects it and unleashes total havoc upon the planet. But he also tends to appear whenever some other giant monster threatens the Earth as well. Godzilla has fought against other giant monsters on countless occasions and has defeated them all. There are very few creatures that can stand up to the king of the monsters, and although some have managed to wound him, no one has ever been able to kill him. Godzilla's body is constantly regenerating itself, which makes him immortal. The only way to kill him is to destroy his core, and even then, there's no guarantee that he won't just regenerate afterwards. So let's get down to brass tacks. How would a fight between these two nearly indestructible beings go? If Doomsday and Godzilla were to face off, the Earth would undoubtedly be the main casualty. These two would destroy entire cities in just seconds. They would also level entire forests and cause earthquakes that would shake the planet. Their battle would be so catastrophic that it would be visible from space. Initially, Doomsday would probably try to use his super strength to simply punch Godzilla into oblivion. But as we know, that doesn't work since Godzilla keeps regenerating himself. Doomsday would quickly realize that the only way to defeat Godzilla would be to destroy his core. This would be extremely difficult though, since Godzilla's core is protected by dozens of layers of skin, muscle, bone, and energy. Doomsday may have super strength, but it would take him several minutes to punch through all of those layers. By that time, Godzilla would get tired of Doomsday's relentless attacks and fire off his own special super attack, the atomic breath. Doomsday wouldn't be able to withstand the full force of the atomic breath for very long, but he might be able to get close enough to Godzilla to grab his core if he timed it right. Of course, that's easier said than done, since Godzilla's atomic breath is no slouch and has obliterated entire city blocks in just seconds. But let's say Doomsday does manage to get past the atomic breath and destroy Godzilla's core. Would this actually kill the king of the monsters? Probably not. Even if Doomsday completely destroyed Godzilla's core, it wouldn't really be a victory since Godzilla would just regenerate a new one. It would be kind of like if Superman punched Doomsday in the chest hard enough to shatter his molecules. Doomsday would probably just regenerate after that anyway. So this battle would essentially be a draw, and that's why it's called the Battle of the Indestructible Beasts. Now if you enjoyed this episode of Titan Tussles, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. We're already knee-deep into Season 2, and there's plenty more kaiju action to come. Each episode is a unique story where we pit two enormous titans against each other and explore how a battle between them would play out. You'll never know which monsters will throw into the ring next, but you can bet it'll be epic. So who do you think would win in a fight between Doomsday and Godzilla? Now, watch Titan Tussles, King Ghidorah vs Galactus, or click this other video instead.